In this video, I'm going to show you how you can draw the summer vintage poster in Procreate. Before you start, make sure to download all of my free brushes, paper textures and color palette for this illustration. And if you'll enjoy this video and would like to draw more of me, make sure to check out my Patreon, where I have more step-by-step tutorials like this and many Procreate brushes. Link is in the description. And with all that being said, grab your drawing tools and let's start. Let's make a new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And first we can color the background. So let's open the layers. Let's go to the background color. And we can take this one. Let's tap on Done. Now on the layer number 1, we are going to draw a rectangle. Let's pick the color for this. Take this one. And let's pick the brush. Let's go to my siakulaart special brushes and take Fun Ink. I will use the brush size 44. And we can draw a rectangle here like that. Draw a line and then hold your pencil on the screen to make this a straight line. Okay, now we can color this inside. So let's drag and drop the color in here. And if you have to, hold your pencil on the screen and swipe it to the left or right to adjust the color drop threshold. Now we don't want those edges to be so perfect. We are going to erase some of this. Let's take the eraser. Let's tap on it again. And let's set it here to rough chalk from my siakulaart special brushes. I will use the brush size 21. And now we can just go around here on the edges and erase this a little bit. Like that. Okay, now we are going to erase lines going here at an angle from one point. Let's change the brush in the eraser. Let's take Fun Ink. And let's mark a point somewhere over here, so more or less in the middle of the canvas and around 1/3 of the height of the canvas. Let's draw a straight line going here like this, so hold your pencil on the screen again. And then another one here. And let's do like this few times. Let's do it only on the top part of the canvas. Okay. And now we can start erasing those stripes more. So just like that. And I like to erase it here manually like that, because then we can get here some imperfections like this, some missed lines. So don't be here precise, just do it quickly. I'm starting here with a small brush, and then for the other parts here, I'll change the brush size for a bigger one. Okay, now I'll make the brush size bigger. I'll make it 77 and I will keep erasing this. Okay, I'm happy with this. Now we can make a new layer to draw here some waves. Let's change the color. Let's take this one. And let's take the brush. We'll be using here the fun ink. Let's make the brush size 33. And let's draw here a wavy line like this. Let's make sure it's covering this point where the line started. And let's color this at the bottom part, like that. Now we can take the eraser. And we are going to erase here lines going across of this, like that. Now here. So just something like this. Now we're going to erase here the edges. Let's start here with this brush. And then we can take the rough chalk. Okay, now let's change it to the rough chalk. And erase it here. Now we can make a new layer and start drawing our drink. We'll start it with the orange. So let's make a new layer. Let's change the color. Let's take this one. And let's draw here a circle. Maybe we can make the brush size 100% for this. And just draw a circle like this. So hold your pencil on the screen. And if you want to have a perfect circle, put your finger here now. I don't want this inside edge here to be so perfect. I will erase it a little bit. I will change the eraser to fun ink. And now I'll just erase it. So like this. And we can color the inside of this orange. So let's take the color, take this one, and just drag and drop it in here. And now let's go back to our orange color, this one. And we can draw the parts of the orange inside here. Let's make the brush size smaller for this. 31. And just draw them like this. So like rounded triangles. Okay, now we can take that lighter color again. we can draw some details on this orange. We can also fix the shape of the triangle pieces if you want to. So I'll just draw a few lines here like that. Okay, I think this is enough. And now we can draw our glass. Let's make a new layer for this. Let's change the color. Take this one. And for now, when we draw this, we don't have to really pay attention to this orange. We are going to move it later and adjust it. So now let's just draw a glass shape. You can draw any glass shape that you like. I will stay with a simple shape. So kind of like a rectangle. Like this. And right away we can draw some reflection on this glass. So let's just draw here lines like that. Maybe 2 lines here on the sides. And here on this side I will draw a reflection like this. I will draw 2 lines going parallel to the shape of the glass. And now I will draw smaller lines coming out of this. So something like this. And now let's take a small break, and I would like to ask you to write a comment with the word summer. It would mean a lot to me. I would know that you enjoyed this video and I could see who is watching me. So thank you for doing this. And now let's go back to drawing. Now let's make a new layer and we can put it under that glass shape and we can draw here the juice. Let's go back to our orange color. And let's draw a shape following the shape of the glass. Make it smaller than the glass. And now here on the top part we can draw a wavy shape like this. I will just move the orange quickly out so I can see better what I'm drawing. And then here we can draw a shape like that, like an almond shape, kind of. Okay, let's color this inside. And I will erase here this small line. So those 2 parts are separated. Now let's make a new layer to draw the straw. Let's pick the color for this. It's this one. And we can make the brush size bigger for this, 66. And let's draw a line here, going from here, like that. And then let's continue this here at an angle, like that. Now I want this part of the straw to be darker. So for this I will make a new layer on top of this one. I'm going to change the blending mode here to multiply. And I will just draw on top of this, on the part that is in the juice. And now I can set this layer to clipping mask. So this is visible only on that straw. I can turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 77. Now let's move our orange. So let's open the layers and go to the layer of the orange. And let's take the arrow tool. Let's move it so it will sit nicely here on the glass. I will make it smaller a little bit. Okay, I like it like that. And now we can select all of the layers with the glass and the orange and the straw. So swipe on them to the right, like this. And we can take the arrow tool and move this on the canvas. I will move it more to the middle and I will rotate it a little bit this way. And I can make it bigger too now. Okay, I think this position is good. So let's tap here to finish. And now we can make new layer on top of this. So on top of everything here. And we can draw some leaves here. Let's pick the color for this. Take this one. Let's make the brush size smaller. 26. And let's draw one big leaf going from this corner. So just a shape like this. Let's color this inside. Now a smaller one over here. Let's color this. And one more over here. Now we can take the eraser and we can erase the vein in the middle of these leaves and then the edges of them. So my brush size here is 8 and I will just erase line going through the middle of this leaf. Same for this one. And this one. Now I'll make the brush size a little bit bigger, 25, and I will erase here triangles on the sides of those leaves. So like that. Now let's do it for this one. And now this one. Okay, now we can change the brush in the eraser. Let's take the rough chalk and let's erase this here by the edges of the canvas. Okay, so we have all the elements on our canvas already. We still need the text and then we can make this look vintage. So let's start with the text. Let's change the color. Let's take this one. And to add the text we have to go to the Actions menu, then Add and pick Add Text. Let's write here Summer in the capital letters. Let's select this word like this and tap here to change the font. For this I'm going to use the font Jack Armstrong BB. I'll pick here bold italic and I'll make the size around 86. Now here I'm going to pick this option so I can have here outline. Now I can tap on Done. And we are going to duplicate this to have now the same word but filled with the color. So let's swipe on this layer to the left and pick Duplicate. Let's take the one underneath, tap on it and pick Edit Text. Select the word, go here. Let's turn off this option now and let's change the color. We can take this one. Let's tap on Done. And we need to do it again. So let's duplicate this layer. Take the one underneath. Let's tap on it and pick Edit Text. Select the word. And now we can change the color of this to this one. This will be the shadow. Let's take the arrow tool. And here at the bottom I have uniform option selected. And we can just move it out like that. Okay. Now I would like this word to have two colors inside here. So I'll go back to this layer here, the middle one. I will duplicate it. I will tap on it and pick here rasterize. So now this is just a normal layer, not a text layer. I want to change the color of this, so I'll tap on it and pick select. At the bottom here I have color fill option turned on. So now I can change the color. I will take this one. And now this text is in this color. We are going to set this layer to clipping mask. So now when we take the arrow tool, we can move it out, but it will stay visible only on that text. So let's move it out a little bit, but not too much. So we can have here these white outlines. Let's tap here to finish. And now we can fix this manually. So when we have something like this, we can take the eraser. Let's tap on it again. And here we can change the eraser to calligraphy and monoline brush. Let's make the brush size 6%. And let's just erase this here like that. So those lines will be here following the shape of the text. Okay, now we can select all of those layers with the text. So swipe on them to the right. And let's take the arrow tool. And let's move it up, somewhere over here. We can make it bigger a little bit. Okay. And let's tap here to finish. Now we can add here more text, but in a different font. Let's change the color. Now we are going to use this one. Let's go to the Actions menu and take Add Text. And let's write here Mode On. Of course, if you want, you can write here something else. Now let's select it all, so tap here and then pick Select All. And let's change the font. You can pick any font that you like. I'm going to pick here this one that I used in the other poster, Schluber. It is linked in the description of this video if you want to download it, if you don't have it yet. And let's tap on Done. Let's move it out so we can see it. I'll make it bigger. Like this. And now we can duplicate this layer. So swipe on it to the left and pick Duplicate. And let's tap on the top one and pick Edit Text. Let's select it all. Let's go here to the options and let's pick this outline option. And now let's change the color. Let's take this one. Let's tap on Done. Okay. And now we can still add here the shadow. So let's duplicate here the text that is at the bottom. Take the one underneath. Tap on it and pick Edit Text. Let's select it all. And let's change the color. Let's take this one. Now let's take the arrow tool and let's move it out. Okay, so all of the elements are ready here. Now we can make it look vintage. Let's start with adding here a paper texture on top of everything. So let's open the layers, go to the top layer, and now we can go to the Actions menu Tap again if you have to. And in the Add section, pick Insert a file, and then let's pick a paper texture. So I'm using here my paper textures, and today I'm going to use a colored texture, a colored paper. I will take this one, C10. If you don't have your paper textures organized like this, just go to the colored paper textures and pick the one that is kind of brownish here. Okay, now we have to change the blending mode of this. So let's tap here and let's pick here Linear Burn. Let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 37. And now let's duplicate this layer. And let's change the blending mode on the top one. Let's pick here Color Burn. And turn down the opacity even more. I'll make it 17. So now this looks already nice. Quite vintage, I would say. But we can make it even nicer. We can add some burnt effect to the sides of this canvas, to the edges of it. So let's make a new layer, and we are going to put it under the paper textures. We can change the blending mode of this. Let's set it to overlay. And with this dark color, we can draw on the edges. Let's pick the brush. Let's take here texture 4 from my Siakulaart special brushes. With the brush size 46, we can just draw here on the edges, like that. Okay, now this is not very visible. We can make it stronger by duplicating this layer. So swipe on it to the left and pick Duplicate. And now we can turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 63. Let's look at this. I like it now. And now we can just erase it in a few spots. So it's not exactly the same pattern everywhere. So let's take the eraser. Let's tap on it again. Let's go to the same brush, so Siakulaart Special and Texture 4. And the brush size 36 I will use. And I will just erase it here in a few places. So there will be some more difference in the color. Okay, I think this looks better now. Now we can add here one more texture. Let's make a new layer. Let's also set it as overlay. And let's change the brush. Let's go here to the rough chalk. Let's make it 100%. And let's draw here all over this, like that. Just one time and very lightly. Now we can turn down the opacity of this. I'll make it 63. And now let's do the same, but on a new layer with a different blending mode. Let's change the blending mode of this one to Soft Light. And let's change the color. Let's take this one. That will be enough. Let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 68. And now let's make one more layer for some extra textures. Let's also set it to Soft Light. And let's change the brush. Now let's take here this one, Hatching Random. And with a brush size 18, we can just draw here in few places like that. I'll make the brush size smaller now, 8%, and add some more of this. Okay, this should be enough. Now we can change the brush. Let's take Scratch. And with the brush size 57, again, let's just draw some random lines here. Now I'll make the brush size smaller, 22, and add some more. And I will turn down the opacity of this. I will set it to 72. Now we can still adjust the paper textures. Maybe I'll turn down the opacity of this one. I will make it 30%. Let's see. Okay, I think this looks good now. And now in the end, I would like to erase just a little bit those greenish stripes here. So I'll go to this layer, this one. I will take the eraser. I'm going to set it to the rough chalk. And here with the brush size 30, I'll just very lightly go here in few places like that. A little bit on the edge here, so it's not like a perfect straight line. Okay, and this is enough. This illustration is finished now. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you can share your drawing with me on my Instagram. I would love to see it. And if you'd like to draw more of me, make sure to check out my Patreon where I have more tutorials like this and many Procreate brushes. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!